been talking, so there is definitely a progress.
Yeah, yeah. It just doesn't feel that serious. Like, yeah, it's not that serious.
What is serious, in a marriage? What is serious in a money? Money comes to go.
Yeah,
And if you try to use, you are sitting on the money, that itself causes more problem.
yeah,
And if you take it lightly, money has come, obviously. I know my mind is going to think about some desire fulfillment, and then the money will go, then the money will be finished, and more money will come. That is the way the money comes and goes.
yeah,
So you take the life lightly.
yeah.
Don't take the life seriously. The more you take the life seriously, it is only because of the emotional bondage, it is only because of the attachment, and it is only because of the ignorance. The height of ignorance can be dispelled when we think that, okay, did I have a single penny at the time of the birth, which I could say my penny?
No.
There was a Dionys who was a minister in the cabinet of Alexander the Great. He entered into India and he wanted to win over the entire India. He failed. So anyhow, so the Dionys, Alexander the Great said to the Dionys that I will rest after I win over the world. After I win over the world. Dionys said, are you sure you will take rest after you win over the world? Why don't you rest now? Living into that state of calmness is present here and now. And the story goes in a long way. And Alexander the Great, learning the lesson from that incident, that event, he said, when I die, keep my hands open so that the people will know that you have come with nothing and you will go with the nothing.
That's cool.
That is the way to live your life. I did not have even, I hardly had $500 when I came to US.
It's crazy.
So I had that thought this $500 will go and more will come.
Yeah.
I'm 64, another 20, 10, 15, 20 years. Then this weird guy will leave this earth.
Yeah.
I'm already in a line.
Yeah.
I'm already standing in a queue. So take the life easily.
Yeah.
So if that easiness in living is can lead you to awakening.
Is anything serious?
Nothing is serious in the life. We make it serious.
So even like a tragedy or whatever, it's
What is tragedy? What is death and birth? I did not know anything about the birth. I did not know, I did not have a choice to be born to these parents, to that township, to that country. I did not have.
yeah.
And I did not have a choice when I will leave the earth.
Yeah.
So the more we are serious, why we are serious, the first thing that we do not know before birth, we do not know anything after the birth. And we are serious in the middle portion of our life and living.
do people, when people ask like what is the meaning of life, like what we're learning?
First thing that we should be clear, doubt-free knowledge that we do not know anything before birth, we do not know anything after the death, and we are living the middle of what we call as a human life. We have to examine each and every aspect of this middle in order to find out what is the meaning of life.
Okay. But haven't you said, or someone, there really is no birth, or there really is no death? I mean,
that we need to inquire. Not by saying, but we have to say, if I am the body, I will take birth and I will die. But if I am not the body, I never die.
Yeah.
I manifest, I appear, and I disappear. The appearance of the body is known as the birth. What is the date of the birth? Is the date of the birth at the time when we came out of the womb of the mother, or when the fertilization took place in the womb of the mother? What is the date of birth?
Well, isn't it usually when we come out of the womb?
That is our common norms that we accept.
Yeah.
But common norm may not be the truth.
Okay.
Common norm may not be the truth. What we claim, what the convention is there in the society may not be the truth. And definitely it is not the truth. How can I claim that the moment I came from the womb of the mother, that is the date of my birth? I existed 9 months before that, or 8 months before that.
Yeah.
If it is a premature birth.
Yeah.
We don't know. And we are dying every moment. We claim this guy died on this particular day at this particular time. We are dying every day.
Why?
Every 7 years, every cell of this human body is replaced by the new cells.
I see.
So if I'm 49 years and die, my body has changed 7 times. Totally new cells. But appearance outside is what? Is the name and the form and the relations. That is what I call I'm the same.
Yeah.
So what I said that we need to examine, analyzing, understanding what this middle of the life has offered me. And when I examine and understand that I'm changing how many? I'm 64. So 7 times. This guy has changed. If I claim that I'm the body.
Yeah.
Question is, who am I? Question remains unanswered. So was I, the first 7 years was I am, second 7 years I am? My mind has changed. Who am I?
Yeah.
Who am I? So that sense of curiosity, that sense of interest in knowing who am I begins the journey. So with that curiosity, with that interest, with that desire, so to say, desire to know myself, should be unbinding. It should not be a binding desire. When it is a binding desire, then I am attached. I have preferences in our relationship. I have likes and dislikes in every aspect of my life. So that binding desire makes me so serious in life. Seriousness is not wanted in life. Life is a play and fun. What will happen if, honey, you leave me? Nothing will happen. Thank you very much. You have given me a good experience. I have learnt a lot. I am wiser now. Finished. But before entering into any relationship in the future, I use that wisdom. One option, I use my sensuality, I use my pleasure seeking mind to enter into a relationship. I have a choice.
But you don't want to enter with the pleasure seeking mind.
Obviously, then you are not serious. You are taking the life easy.
Yeah. But like, well, like, okay, for instance, with this girl, like, I know that she's probably just playing games and I shouldn't have texted her back, but I did because it felt good. But I was seeking some sort
Pleasure seeking mind has an element of likes and dislikes, has a sense
yeah.
of preferences, and always has a level degree of expectations, and that is the bound to cause you suffering.
Yeah.
But when I take the life easy, you have come, let me do the best I can do. Huh?
Yeah.
As a coach, as a guide, let me do the best I can do.
Yeah.
It is you have a freedom to say goodbye. That's your choice. So
It hurts. The
I'm
breaking the attachment hurts though. It feels very hard to break an attachment.
yes, that is why I use the binding desire. If you have a
Yeah.
binding desire, it hurts. If you
Yeah.
have an unbinding desire, it gives you, oh, it's life is a play and a fun. I have played my role better. I'm
Yeah.
not frustrated. I'm still in peace. Before meeting you, during your meeting with me, and after the meeting. So that is a test. That is a mark that
Mm.
I'm not attached. Before, during, after. My state of the mind is the same.
What if like I'm always worried about like how I'm perceived?
Question is very important, and the answer is simple. I have been expecting from the world to see me through my eyes, not through their eyes. That
I
is
have
the way.
sorry, go ahead.
So, how other people should perceive me through my eyes? Through my eyes means I have lot of expectations from the world. That is also a pleasure seeking mind. That is a binding desire that I have been seeking from the world. It will definitely an extreme level of selfishness that I thought keeps working, and that I thought is ego, and the ego is unripe. Unripe ego always expects something from the world. It always expects something from the restroom, from the computer. I just had a session. The women said the whole week I computer made me crazy. I said, hold on, wait. Did computer make you crazy? Is computer conscious? Does the computer have a right intention to make you crazy? Computer is not conscious. It is
Yeah.
inert. It is a matter. It does not know itself. It does not know you. How the computer can make you crazy? But why
Yeah.
the computer made me crazy? Because I have a binding desire. I have a lot of expectations. I have a lot of expectations. I think last week my computer froze. I just upgraded the computer. I spent a couple of $1,000. So I told at the in the mid of hanging, I told the entire group, my computer god is not supporting me today. Computer god is angry. So we will meet in our next lesson. Finished. So I took it easily. So when I don't take it easily, then I'm already expecting, I'm binded, I'm bound. So why I am bound? It is because of the animal mind. We are evolved from the animal kingdom. So
So when I take all that stuff seriously, that's
you just take it easily. I always love you. I always love to look at you laughing and smile. At this young age, why you are so serious?
I don't know, because certain things like evoke certain.
Hold on to your mind with that answer that I become serious, I become crazy only because of the binding desire. So when we analyze and go little deeper, what exactly is the binding desire and what exactly is the unbinding desire? We will have a right answer. So when we say that we have a desire, desire obviously means the goals in life. Goals in life.
Yeah.
So the master says that we may have millions of goals. Every human being has millions of goals. There are some goals fulfilled, other goals unfulfilled. So what they say, that is the beauty of understanding. It's all about wisdom, it's not about belief. He said all those millions of desires can be categorized into four. First thing they say. So it means what? Every day I wake up in the morning, I have lot of desires. My intellect should redefine that desire, put it into the category one out of the four, which category it belongs to. Oh, that pasta is so great. My mind subconsciously remembers. It has no desire to go again. But because it has remembered, the animal mind is ready to go there. How it happens? So you have eaten the pasta in a particular restaurant, you liked it, you enjoyed it, there was a lot of pleasure in it, and then you forgot it. And a couple of times when you wake up in the morning, you simply remember, and one day you were passing through that restaurant, and your mind said, let me stop there and have pasta, then I will go to home. Binding desire is already started. So now I was totally unconscious. I said, what a big deal. I have eaten pasta. No, it's a big deal. Because that is how the mind is working on you. How dare mind you work on me? I know I like the pasta, but now I'm going home, so I will go home. No, I have a lot of money. I can get it. I can eat pasta every day. No, mind, you have created a binding desire. That is the analysis. That is how we need to analyze. We analyze with what exactly is the real, what is false. What is false? That pasta will give me the pleasure. Pleasure is not there. Pasta uh, does not run after me. Please come to
Well,
me.
what is that feeling of pleasure that people get then? What is that actually if it's not pleasure?
How simple it is to understand where is the pleasure I experience. Do I experience the pleasure in the pasta? Do I experience the pleasure in the mind?
The mind.
Obviously, so it is within me. So I need to inquire whether that pleasure comes because of eating pasta. Pasta goes to the mouth and the pleasure is here. What is the relationship? Did I create a wrong relationship?
The attachment.
Huh?
The attachment. Or, yeah.
if I dislike pasta, will that give me pleasure? No. I like pasta. That's why I like pasta. I start eating it. It gives me a pleasure. So, from where the liking has come, where the liking is living, it is living in the mind.
Yeah.
So, if I don't like it, it doesn't give me a pleasure.
Okay.
Oh, so pasta does not contain pleasure. Now, liking and disliking causes happiness or unhappiness.
Correct.
But now, question asked again, from where the liking has come. Does the liking has any meaning? One person likes pasta, other person likes chicken, third person likes the third stuff, fourth person like coffee, fifth person like tea, and they all say whatever I like gives me the pleasure. Is it a false notion or a right notion?
I don't know. I mean,
It's a false
what?
notion. It is a false. You claim that you like pasta, that gives you pleasure. The second
Yeah,
guy sitting in front of you who says I like coffee, that gives me the pleasure.
but I'm not that guy. Doesn't it matter what I like?
Yes, you are not that guy, but that is where the mind is ruling on you. Mind is ruling on him because the mind created the like. That's why he gets the pleasure. Mind created a like of the pasta. That's why. So it is nothing about you. It is all about the mind. So the first thing we have understood that neither pleasure neither lies in the coffee nor in the pasta.
Mm.
And it is because why I get the pleasure because I like it. So now the question comes, what is this liking? I like so many things. That liking and disliking is the result of non-thinking. The intellect is not playing a role. The mind habitually, animally, automatically, yeah, forces me to like certain thing. Girl says, I like yellow color. Why you like yellow color? There's no reason behind it. So we get emotional. The moment you get emotional, you are already attached. There is a sense of emotional dependence.
Yeah.
And that results into addiction and habit. So it means, oh, now I have gone a step further. What is that step? Oh, liking and disliking enters into my mind because of non-thinking. Non-thinking is emotional dependence. Non-thinking is fall into unconsciousness. So whenever my mind says I will have another pasta and I'm driven by some unknown force inside, that unknown force is not no unknown. It is emotional dependence. I don't want to recognize it. I don't want to think. I'm not aware. I'm awake, but I'm not aware. Even when I'm awake, I'm sleeping. I look at the beautiful girl, I'm awake, no doubt. That's why I look at the beautiful girl. And when I'm not aware, the sensuality enters into my mind. But when I'm aware, the sensuality is too far. I appreciate you. You are beautiful. That's all. I remain separate. I don't have a biting desire. Thing is done. I'm free.
How do you get there? How does someone get there?
I'm living lightly. I'm taking the word lightly. How do you get there? What do you mean? I'm aware. I'm awake. First thing. There are two people. Both are awake. Both look at the same girl. Both say the same thing. Look at the girl. She is beautiful. But one is awake and aware. So he means that the girl is beautiful. It is a kind of appreciation. The way I appreciate the nature, the way I appreciate the snow and the mountain. And the other guy is awake but not aware. Why he is not aware? Because the animal mind has taken over. So now, being awake, he is sleeping. He is living at a lower consciousness.
Mm.
So why he is living at a lower consciousness? And living at a lower consciousness is how I want to marry. You want to marry, you are awake but not aware. Not aware is a non thinking. Non thinking is emotional dependence. Emotional dependence will cause the mind to work on you. When the mind is working on you, it is a binding desire. And when you live with the binding desire, you are living seriously. Oh, let me know. Can I get a phone number? Can I meet? Can we have a date? So the entire story begins when you are not aware. You are awake. You have seen the girl. You have appreciated. But now, after that, the story is started by the unconscious mind. The story is started by the impure mind. The story is started by the ignorant mind. You can use any word. We have
Well,
every mind, every master uses a different word. So
well,
you
what's wrong with asking for a date?
are already wrong in the first place, because you have already created a liking and disliking, you have already created an emotional dependence, and now that emotional dependence present in the mind is going to trouble you in the future, whether you are asking for a date or you not. You succeed in a dating, pleasure seeking.
Okay.
You fail in pleasures, you fail in the date, you are frustrated. That is why. That is the fun of asking the date. Why should I ask for a date? So I have some expectation. It may be physical, it may be mental, it may be emotional. But question is, it means I'm already searching peace and happiness outside. So when I'm searching peace and happiness outside, obviously it's a great problem. It will create a habit. It will result into addiction. Then I start living the life again and again in the same repeated habit, expecting a different result. Result is
Okay.
frustration. Result is insecurity. Result is dissatisfaction. Result is anger. Result is hesitation. Do I want to live into that entire cycle?
No.
That is what the Buddha says world is suffering. So I have created another world over the world that is so beautiful.
So then, when are you? So then, okay, if we're talking about dating, if we're staying on the subject, then when would you ask a girl for a date?
When you ask a girl for a date, it means from where this question has arisen in your mind.
Okay.
Again, it has come from the likes and dislikes. My animal mind says dating means mating.
Okay.
We know about animal mating. What a crazy stuff in the human life. We talk about soulmate. Aha. Dating means soul. Does the soul have a mating?
No, but when am I supposed to go out with? So then I'm not supposed to date? I'm confused. That's what I'm not.
Yes, yes. First, I should find out what is the motivation behind asking for a date.
Okay.
If I am not clear in my head, I will not be clear neither in dating nor in soulmating.
I understand.
So, if it is physical, and so to say, for example, a person A has already experienced the physical pleasure, he has already realized it is a short term pleasure. And that pleasure enters into my mind because of relationship, because of contact. Contact, pleasure. No contact, pleasure is gone. So it means my pleasure depends on the other person. So it means I will have to depend on the other person to seek pleasure. That is emotional dependence, that is physical dependence. Any dependence on the world outside on anything will frustrate me, will cause the insecurity. You are too far, insecurity. You are too close, I feel secure. Anxiety, duality, conflict, etc., 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 long list will come. So that is my motivation, the first result of motivation that I expect when I should date. Why you are asking the question? Why you are not asking the question, why don't you date to your real self? Dating with the real self. Why? Peace and happiness are essential nature of the real self. What it means? I have to drop the liking and disliking. First, I have to move the mind within. What is the moving the mind within? I have to live at higher awareness. It's a literal sense because the English, any language has a linear. Every language is a linear. It does not pick up the multi-dimensional state of the real self. Consciousness is multi-dimensional. So that's why we use the word that move the mind within. Moving the mind within, that you rise in consciousness. You don't fall in consciousness. What is fall in consciousness? The mind is juggling with the likes and dislikes and emotional dependence and lot of expectation and the binding desire. When you rise in consciousness, from that height, you look at your mind which is seeking a pleasure and you laugh at it. Why you laugh? Why I am seeking a date? You laugh at that question.
Yeah.
So when you laugh at that question, you live your life lightly. You don't live your life seriously. Thank you. Oh, no, I'm not interested. You may be smart and you may be rich, but I'm not interested in dating with you. Thank you very much. You have given me an opportunity. You educated me. You made me realize that the happiness lies within me, not in you. You may be Miss Universe. Who cares?
Yeah.
So that is the way of analysis. So we were saying that all the millions of desires can be categorized. You see the other reason why you asked that question. I'm giving you the answer to the next question, to the same question again. So millions of desires we have since we wake up in the morning. Oh, let me have the pasta in that restaurant. So I'm going to meet that guy and then I will finalize that project, and then in the evening I will go to the parents, and then I have those small desires, millions of desires every day pops up, out of which selected desires are fulfilled, and we say the life is going rightly. No, life is going mechanically. I did not examine all the desires. I did not understand because I kept couple of desires with my parents and they are habitually fulfilled. I find everything is okay, and one day it is not fulfilled. Dad, you are not good. Ah, so the mind unconsciously lives with the likes and dislikes? Yes, we have already answered that question. So millions of desires can be categorized into four. First is the human effort. Normally, if I don't make any effort in my life, that effort is normally categorized as profession. If you happen to meet a person and he asks you, "What you do?" "I do nothing." "Oh, that person looks crazy. He does nothing." He should. Why he is in the society? He should be in the mental hospital. He does not. So that kind of an unconscious impression is there at the social level. If you are doing nothing, there is something, some problem here. But we see in a different way. Eastern wisdom says that you have a free intellect. So you have a choice of your profession, you have a choice of your effort. But now see that if you make the effort in a right manner, or if you make the effort what is right and good, it definitely gives you some reward.
Yeah.
That reward may be in the form of a wealth, maybe in the form of a recognition, maybe in the form of that you are recognized in a group of the society, etc., etc. So that effort, one thing that you get a wealth. Now the next question, the next desire comes, that why you have to have a wealth? To fulfill my desires. Wealth to fulfill my desires. I have a car, I have a house, I have basic necessities of my life. That is that has become secondary. In fact, is that wealth primary need is to meet the basic need. But we have forgotten that. We say house is beautiful. No, I never think that house meets my need to live, to protect me from the different weather, to different protects me to keep my body safe. House is nothing like the physical body. You have a big mansion, your mind cannot be happy. Mind has nothing to do with having possessing a home. The body sits in a luxury car or in a simple car.
Yeah.
You create an imagination that I'm sitting in a luxury car, that's why I'm happy. It's a different matter. So the second goal, group of the goals is to fulfill the kind of the pleasures ruled, remember, ruled by the social law. If you defy the social law, one day you'll be caught. All your recognition is gone. How much you have already heard the case nowadays happening. So you may have earned your recognition in the wealth, but you don't follow the social law in a particular society. It is going to kick you back. So why you don't follow? Because of your likes and dislikes. Why you don't follow? Because of your pleasure-seeking mind. Pleasure-seeking mind. What is infidelity? What is fidelity? It is because of pleasure-seeking mind. There is nothing more than that. So I have to recognize inside me rather than I recognize and try to save myself. Try to secure that infidelity. Not possible. One day it will be exposed.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want. Your scam will definitely be exposed if you do any kind of a scam. So these are the three goals. Master says I should be very clear. I should be very judicious. I should be aware. I should be mindful. How I am making an effort. Is it right and good? I was watching that in the Discovery Channel or some channel. That how those gang leaders or those drug peddlers and dealers open the secret areas in the car and they put the cocaine there. They are also making a tremendous effort. Whether I make an effort, you make an effort, or they were making an effort is the same. But the effort motivation is wrong, and it is not a right effort, it is a wrong effort. It goes against the society. So I'm caught. And then I saw that, they will, because we caught the cocaine that weighs around 7 or 8 kilogram, and they will be put behind the bar. The punishment is 8 to 19 years of prison. My goodness. What is the intention? Wrong effort. I did the effort. Effort is the same. Quality, amount, degree. Perhaps they have a better quality of effort. They know how to put the cocaine into different compartment of the car.
Yeah.
So the first desire, it says we have to continue to live with a minimum effort, the smart effort. Second, we get the wealth, we have to use it what is right and good. Now see, I like pasta. What's so wrong with eating pasta? No issue. Let me eat it. Second time I eat it. Third time I become aware. Mind, are you creating an addiction? I'm not interested. I'm interested in the food that is good, nutritious to me. I have given a break. I have given such a small break not eating pasta because of liking and disliking. That will save me from great fears of attachment, of emotional dependence with a girl or with the relations or with different projects in my life. I don't pay attention to the small things in my life. How can I understand my life? Second desire. So now, how to give a check what is right and good to the human effort and to seeking a pleasure is the third desire. Desire to live, if I literally translate for you, desire to live a religious life, if I say so. That religion, I'm not talking of religion of a particular god and goddesses. That living a religious life means there are do's and don'ts. There are don'ts, they are based on likes and dislikes, and don't. And do's, they are based on what is right and good. So that gives me a check on the first two goals, to earn wealth and to seek a pleasure. There is no problem in seeking a date. And there is a problem in seeking a date based on do's and don'ts. Don'ts. My mind is addicted. My mind is habitual. I have found it is liking. It is because of the physical pleasure. And it is because of a company. And I am not able to find the peace within. I am seeking the peace and others don't. Let me have a date. Where's the problem? I'm dating with you now. Where is the problem in that dating?
None.
So is my mind clear? I have no problem in dating. I have all the problems in dating. You dated and you are frustrated. You are still frustrated. So these are the three goals. Eastern wisdom says you still have the fourth goal of life. The first three goals helps you in the desire fulfillment. The fourth goal, every desire fulfillment, when it is fulfilled, it creates another desire. You have a dating the first time, and then before you finish that dating, you say, when we are meeting next?
Yeah, right.
So that desire fulfillment never takes place. Because it brings out to the one level to the next level. Can I touch you? Yes, you can touch me, but only touching. Now I get one step ahead. No problem. When we are meeting next.
Yeah.
I know you might have done it, so I'm not exposing you. So do you see that a step further, a step further? So the desire fulfillment, there is no desire fulfillment. So the master says you have a fourth goal. Where is fourth goal? Fourth goal is self-fulfillment. What do you mean by self-fulfillment? I realize my real self of the nature of peace and happiness. When I recognize and realize I live and think and speak and act out of that self which is peace and happiness, self-fulfillment. What is the use of self-fulfillment? You are always happy. It brings an end to the suffering. How do you explain in a different way? It is self-discovery. No, explain in a different way. It is awakening and realization that I am the real self. I am the pure consciousness of the nature of peace and happiness. Can anyone in the world give me stress and suffering when I have a self-fulfillment?
No.
That is why the Buddha left the kingdom. Such a big kingdom. fact was that when his father Suddhodana heard from the astrologer that your son is going to be a great king, no, great monk, he was scared because he was the only son. What his father did, normally our father can do not love so dearly the way Buddha's father loved him dearly. What he did? He created a sin city in Las Vegas in his kingdom, only meant for him. Did you understand? Las Vegas and Sin City.
Yeah.
Means all kinds of pleasures are there, the gambling is there. Well, he was the king of a great kingdom. He had a lot of wealth. For 7 years he was totally absorbed. And his father warned every guard. He kept the young guard, they are beautiful girls and the boys, guarding the entire Las Vegas in the Sin City, where the Buddha was totally absorbed in all kinds of pleasures. He was beset from his thinking mind. It was an animal mind.
Yeah.
And one day he had a desire to see the kingdom. Sitting in a horse cart, first thing he saw the dead body. First time, at the age of 16 years. First time. He never knew what is birth and the death. You see that when I don't face the truth, what is real, when I live in the false, what that means? Always with the likes and dislikes. I'm tired of this pleasure, let me have another pleasure. First time he saw the dead body. He asked that, who is this? I should not tell you as my king warned me, but I should tell you the truth. Everyone has to meet this fate, everyone dies. And Buddha was at a surprise. Everyone dies? What do you mean? And then he explained what the death means, all your activities, and forget about the pleasure. And they went back to the Sin City. He became totally disinterested on all the pleasures. Why? One day I have to meet this fate. I must know what is life. Second day again he went into the kingdom and he saw a 90-year-old guard, deformed spine, walking with a stick. Who is this guy? Everyone meets the same fate, master, prince. He said, take my car to the kingdom again. And he started thinking, do I have that level of penetration to think? I am frustrated with one way of dating. How dare you ask that should I not date? First you find out where is the problem. Oh, and then he started contemplating and reflecting. And his father realized, he came to know that now this guy is going in an opposite direction. He is not interested in the Sin City in Las Vegas. He forcibly married him. He went into the pleasure. He had a son. But internal contemplation was going on. The journey of the self-discovery is internal. I have to think. And one day at the midnight, he saw his wife sleeping, he saw his son sleeping, he saw his father sleeping. He left the kingdom. Left the kingdom means the entire wealth, entire prestige and recognition was at his feet. I damn care. Why? For the sake of that intense desire to find the freedom from the suffering. So when I have that intense desire to seek the freedom, I can leave everything in my mind. That's a kind of a dispassion. I should be living in the same house but live in dispassion. It's the same thing actually. That is more a symbolic expression that he left the kingdom. You know, when when a religion is formed around any master, you have lot of stories, and that stories does not make a sense unless we understand it clearly. He got enlightenment. After 7 or 8 years, he returned to the same kingdom. This is basically a symbolic to help our mind. It does not mean that you should leave your house and give the house to me, give your beautiful car to me, and then you go into the forest. It's basically a symbolic expression. Anyhow, he returned to the kingdom and he knocked the kingdom, and his dad, was totally, he was totally obsessed with his kingdom and the prestige and the money that he had. I will forgive you, my son. Look at you, you have become a monk. You're wearing one pair of clothes. You're naked you don't have even the pair of sandals. I will forgive you, provided you take over the kingdom. He did not allow the Buddha to speak. Same thing his wife told. I gave you all kinds of pleasure. I'm still ready to give you all the pleasure. Buddha was very calm and poised. My father, my honey, I have not come here to live again. Why you have come? I have come here to ask you that you all are suffering. You are living in short-term pleasure. What do you mean? I mean you follow me. I will show you the path of permanent peace and happiness. That is why I thought, let me make a last try with you. That is what happens. Did he change from outside? No. He did not change anything from at the physical level, at a very subtler level, at the mental level. He could see now same pleasure as a fire, it will burn me. That is based on my likes and dislikes. How dare my mind say that I have already a frustrating experience with one dating before I examine, analyze, and understand? How dare my mind you say that I will go for second dating? How dare?
Well, because why?
I have already explained why.
Well, I know that, but like,
I know young you have a tremendous energy, and that energy is going into seeking the dating instead of finding the peace and happiness in you.
no.
Use the same energy.
Okay.
Use the same energy. Look, understand that masses of this story of the Buddha. First, he was totally unaware, he was awake but unaware. He was living in a sin city and Las Vegas. So he did not know what he has to do. He only knew all kinds of pleasures. The first part of his life. Then the second part was the transition. He started questioning, if this body is going to leave me, that is known as the death. And this body is getting the pleasure, so I have to find out what is this pleasure. Is it a real or false? So I have found out it is a false. That is what would happen to the Buddha. So when it is a false, dating is nothing but another. We use the mating word with the animal mating. And who was the craziest guy who used the word soulmate? I don't know. So
Is it possible to not have? Is it possible? Like, are you saying that we shouldn't have likes and dislikes? Like, how is that even possible?
you are right. You have a very wise question. And the simple answer, likes and dislikes plus emotional dependence is equal to suffering. Likes and dislikes plus wisdom is always equal to peace and happiness.
Okay.
So that likes and dislikes does not con any attachment or emotional dependence. I have no problem.
So it's the attachment or the emotional dependence.
Dependence. So, but it begins because I do not recognize that attachment and detachment inside my mind. I use in my language and it manifests as a likes and dislikes. I do not recognize the emotional dependence. What a problem if I go and eat pasta fourth time. No, it's a problem. So I don't recognize it. I take it casually. I have a wealth, like Buddha, who lived in the Sin City. Where is the problem? If one girl is not there, the second is there in the Sin City. So that idea in the mind comes from that attachment and emotional dependence. It is subtle, I don't recognize. So when I don't recognize, that causes the problem. And then I'm already fallen into addiction. And now this is an addiction. I married to be happy, and I divorced to be unhappy. I soul-mated one to be happy, and then I left him or her to be unhappy, to be happy.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Are you crazy? At one time, you like that guy. At the second time, you dislike that guy. Who likes and dislikes? It lives in the mind. Why it is? Because of attachment and detachment. Why? Because of emotional dependence. So who suffers? I suffer. What I will do the same thing again.
Why do we get emotionally dependent on things?
Because I don't think. I don't see the knowledge in it. I live in ignorance. I live with the false notion. I live with the false notion that this is definitely going to give me the pleasure.
I see.
What is the number of dating? It is the 10th dating. 10th dating will always give me the pleasure. Did I learn from the ninth dating in the past? I don't want to learn. It's a non-thinking. Non-thinking is habitual. So the fourth desire, the self-fulfillment. The last point is most important. So we have 4 groups of desires. Human effort, wealth, recognition, etc., possessions. Second is seeking the pleasure. Third is giving a rule over these 2 desires. And the fourth is the self-fulfillment, self-discovery, awakening, and realization. That the master hits our mind in a gentle way. He says, my son, first 3 goals are not goals, they are the means. Fourth is the only goal of human life. What that means in the goals. You have $1 billion in your account, that does not give you happiness unless you spend that $1 billion in coming in contact with a home or a girl or a car, then only it gives you happiness. I had a wealth, so dollar as such does not represent happiness.
Okay.
That is why it is a means. Because of that dollar, I bought the mouse, which is working fine. That gives me the happiness. So the dollar is a means. It is not a goal of life.
But you're saying that it's okay to find happiness in houses and cars and...
That is what we have to learn. We have to be very clear. It is a basic necessity to have a house. I have the resources. Let me have a bigger house. Let me have a better house. Let me spend more. No issue. No issue at all. But I keep in my mind, I live with that self awareness that house is only a means, the wealth is only a means, the car is only a means. Any object or a person or an event or a situation outside are the means. They cannot be the goal of life. That is why we say the money cannot buy happiness. A big mansion cannot buy the happiness. Master has said it thousands of years ago. So the only goal of life is left is to self-discovery. We do that self-discovery while using all those means. You are lucky to have a good amount of the wealth. You are lucky to have a good house. You are lucky to have an intellect. You are lucky to have an aspiration to find who am I. So the means that you have, the resources that you have will definitely help you to fulfill the fourth goal of life. We don't use it. We have more wealth, then we have 10 cars, we have 10 houses, and we have 10 partners, but we are always insecure to have a sense of whatever you say you want to say. So when the person becomes rich, not every rich person becomes Bill Gates, who donated 80% of his wealth. Do you see that? You already see the Tesla. So what happened, understand that four goals. First, master says you have four goals, and after that they say, find out which are actually the means to happiness. The first three goals, which are not actually the goals, they are means to the happiness. The only goal is left is to find the real self. Then we can find that real self applying the three means. We are using the same means. We are living in a same society. But internally we are different because of our level of self-awareness. Jesus was the same before enlightenment, after enlightenment. His physical body was the same. But internally, his level of awareness, he reached to the highest state of the consciousness. That is what the self-fulfillment is. So if we don't follow that, as long as you will make the means as a goals, it will create problem of emotional dependence, attachment and detachment, insecurity, dissatisfaction, frustration and failure. How long you are going to live in that state, expecting a different result? Not at all possible. Do whatever you want to do.
What would be an example of using a means as a goal?
I will buy this luxury car, it will give me happiness. I'm using the means as the goals. That my goal is to get happiness by having this luxury car, by marrying Miss Universe. That will give me happiness. And long list, I know you are young, that's why I'm using Miss Universe. so use that. Today I will have the sensual pleasure and this will give me happiness. When you are in contact, no doubt it gives you pleasure. The moment they are separate, the pleasure is gone. So another way to understand the means and the goals, the moment every pleasure, every kind of the happiness, then you experience when you come in contact with anything outside. So you are using the means as a goals. And whether you are in contact, whether you are not in contact, you are still in happiness. You are using these resources to find the happiness inside. You are using them not as a goals, as a means of life. And there the life changes. Life will change from the day one. I can bet you.